Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. And we're coming to you from the Grand Hotel. This is where the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce hosts their annual policy conference. And we have with us the U.S. Senator for the great state of Michigan, Gary Peters. Good to have you here, Gary.
Well, it's great to be with you as always. This has become a regular
It's,
regular gig for
it's
us.
like a date.
That's right. Mark your calendar.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're all smiling, but there's some chaos happening in your place of work.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How are we going to navigate all this stuff, Gary?
It's really hard. It's hard. We have an administration that is behind all of that. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. We saw that in the first Trump administration. There was chaos constantly. But this is different and it's worse. And I'll tell you one of the reasons. If you look at the last administration, he had a number of people in his cabinet that actually pushed back and
Yeah.
said, Mr. President, I don't think this is wise. We shouldn't be doing this. And
Yeah.
there was some guardrails there. This time is different. He is only, and I know because in the Senate we have to confirm all Senate. They're all Senate confirmed appointments that
Yeah.
come for us. The only criteria that he really wants from everybody is loyalty.
Yeah.
They have to be 100% loyal to him. Don't push back. And even if you may disagree, keep it to yourself. But then you better go out to the public and act like this is the best idea ever that the president had. And so as a result of that, we have a president who, and just looking at how he operates, it depends on how he wakes up that morning as to what he's thinking about. Look at our tariff policy. It's on, it's off, it's postponed, it's back on. You can't run a business that way, as you know, all of the
Oh,
folks who are listening here. The thing that's absolutely worse for business, the absolute worst thing is uncertainty.
yeah.
Even if a business person doesn't like the rules that Congress passes, and there's no shortage of those, a business may not, at least they know what the rules are, and then they adjust, and they're able to figure out how to work. Now, if you don't know that, you can't do anything. I had a CEO of a major company in my office just last week, and he said, Senator, I don't know if I should hire people, if I should fire people, I don't
Yeah.
know if I should invest
Yeah.
or if I don't. So he goes, I basically do nothing. I just sit on my hands, and I can't run a business just sitting on my hands.
We do our semi-annual, Sinair Michigan Future Business Index. We had to add questions because this is such a unique time period as to how are the policies affecting you. We've never had to put that in before, but it's becoming too big a part of it. Congratulations on your again designation as most effective senator. I think that's great that you can work across the aisle and get things done. Thank you on a personal basis for the money for the Great Lakes
Yeah.
that are saving our most valuable resource. Tell me about securing funding for the Sioux locks because this has been an issue for a while. There's, from my understanding, only one lock working,
Right.
and if it goes down, so does a lot of economy.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what really pushed this along a few years ago. There was a Department of Homeland Security study of what would happen if that lock shut down. And bottom line, it said, I believe it was within 90 days of that happening, we would start going into a recession.
Yeah,
If you think of all the materials that go into the steel mills and all the manufacturing, and manufacturing such an engine for our economy, it
yeah,
would be catastrophic. So you needed to have that redundancy. And the existing lock was very old. It worked to maintain it. The Army Corps does a really good job of keeping things running. In fact, one time, when I was there a couple of years ago, some of the pumps they use when they're draining the locks, the pumps were made like in 1915, 1920.
yeah,
I said, you guys are really good to keep these machines running, but there's a limit to that.
yeah.
So we've made major investments, billions of dollars now to build it. I was up at the construction site last year. They're making great headway, but they're getting to the point where their funding could lapse if they don't execute some contracts. And so we're staying very focused on that.
Oh God, that would be a travesty. I mean, it truly would be.
Yeah, and I will fight it aggressively. I mean, we've already literally put billions of dollars into the ground.
Yeah.
To let other monies lapse to stop that would make no sense whatsoever. And I'm confident we can do it, but we have to be vigilant.
All right, let's look back real quick over your career. Proud points that you really felt good about.
Yeah. I've been blessed. There are a lot of things that I care deeply about, but one issue that you and I have talked about a lot are veterans
Yeah.
and standing up for our veterans. And one bill that has had a significant impact for a lot of people's lives is my Fairness for Vets Act. And what that's dealt with were veterans who were suffering from PTSD, visible wounds of war from their service, but they weren't diagnosed that when they were in the military. And as you know, people who have PTSD can exhibit behaviors. That means they don't show up for muster. They may self-medicate. Those are kinds of things that get you kicked out of the military.
Yeah.
And it actually came to me. We had a homeless vet in Grand Rapids who served in Afghanistan, a Marine, served with honor and distinction. But when he came home, things weren't so great. He ended up self-medicating. They kicked him out. He became homeless. He was homeless on the streets of Grand Rapids. He went to the VA. They examined him and they said, "You're suffering from PTSD, but we can't help you because you have a bad paper discharge from the military, even though these are service related."
Yeah.
And so I took his case, learned that there are thousands of folks in this area. We passed the Fairness of Veterans, which says if you have credible medical evidence that you're suffering from PTSD as a result of your service in the military, you can get your designation changed and you can get into the VA. That passed. He's in the VA now. He's getting his treatment, his help, and we understand so far we're over 1,500 veterans who are being denied treatment for PTSD are now getting the help they need from the
Well,
veterans.
you've helped a whole lot more people than that, but that's an admirable story. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your representation in DC. And thank you for being a good guy.
Well, thank you.
Truly.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank you.
right. U.S. Senator Gary Peters. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, coming to you from the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. We'll be back.